everybody. Welcome to this latest episode of the Dealership Fixit podcast. My name is Jacob, and today we're going to be covering how to write marketing copy that actually sells for motorcycles, parts, and service in their dealerships to real riders. We're going to be breaking down the how to write ad copy that actually gets people to take action. And this is based loosely on Bill Glazer's proven copywriting formula with a power sports twist. So whether you're trying to move a used street glide, promote a service special, or announce a weekend event, this is the formula to speak directly to that motorcycle buyer, the rider who's actually shopping, scrolling, and trying to make a decision right now. So let's go through it. Section 1, the foundation, how most dealers' ads don't convert. So most dealers' ads, if you've ever seen them, they sound like a spec sheet, not real conversational, right? Writers don't actually care about the features or the promos until they know how it benefits them. Glazer taught us that if you focus on the emotion, not the engineering, you will win, right? So focus on that high emotional. Forget that generic ad copy. You need to speak to what the writer is feeling, needing, or dreaming about right now. And if your ad looks like everyone else's, it'll get treated like everyone else's, ignored. So in the next section here, we go over the Glazer formula, right? Step by step, okay? And number one in this formula is to grab the attention. This is also called the hook, right? So you want to use things like curiosity, surprise, or emotion to stop the scroll. So you want to target the writing experience, the lifestyle, or the problem that they're trying to solve. Some examples of those are, why are riders trading in their Harleys for this new motorcycle, right? Still financing that metric bike or that Yamaha, that Honda, that sport bike. Trade bonus changes the game. Check it out. Another one would be, the only bike under $250 a month, we'd let our techs ride cross country. The next one, you won't believe what we're giving away with every oil change this month. So they're all hooks, right? They're designed to grab that scroll, stop it, read it, and build into one of those curiosities, those surprises, or those emotions, right? Number two in this formula, you want to identify that pain or that frustration. So make the customer feel seen, right? Speak their pain back to them. You want to target maybe some inventory concerns. They're having a tough time finding the bikes that they like, some high prices, right? Dealership haggles and hassles. That's always a huge thing in our business. Most consumers do not enjoy the buying process or just the financing stress, right? Banks taking their time to approve things, stipulations needed. Interest rates are a huge one right now. Money down is another one, right? So here's some examples of that. Are you tired of listings that say mint but need 1,200 in repairs? That's a perfect reason on why they should buy from a dealership. Tried to trade in your bike and got ghosted? Not here, right? A lot of dealers are having issues with not being able to answer leads. Most service departments take weeks, ours take days. And that's just the simple truth. If you call around to your other competitors or your other sister stores, power sports service departments, a lot of them will not be able to get you in for any type of small to medium repair for weeks. And that's because they're backed up with so much work. Here's one more. Been told you don't qualify by other lenders. We work differently. So that's letting the customer know that regardless of their past financial turn down possibly, and you don't know how long that's been, 1 day or 100 days, maybe last year, you can offer another type of finance offer for them because your lenders are better than everybody else, right? So you're in that pain, right? They've been turned down before. Let's try again. Number three in this formula is make a bold promise or show your offer. So this is where we need to be specific, we need to be clear, and we need to be confident. You want to promise a desirable result or ease of transaction. So here's some examples to that. Get pre-qualified with no social security number in under 2 minutes, right? Now, are they actually getting pre-qualified? No, they're submitting their information to get pre-qualified in 2 minutes. Another example would be ride today with zero down and your current trade, even if it's not paid off. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. What about this one? We'll buy your used bike whether you buy from us or not. So that speaks directly to people that are looking to unload a motorcycle or a power sport product before they get into a new one, right? That's kind of a CarMax hook, I think, and it's worked quite well for them. Or this last one here, new arrivals posted daily, no recycled photos, all in stock. How many stock photos do you see recycled on the internet for just about everything new out there? There's a ton of them, right? So if you've got a good plan of taking current pictures of in-stock inventory, Hell yeah, that's something that you should be putting out there as part of your offers, part of your promise, right? Number four in this formula is you got to stack the benefits. Okay. So let's paint the full experience of doing business with your dealership, right? Let's talk about all the things that they get, not just the vehicle that they want to buy. You got to translate your features into buyer friendly benefits. Okay. Here's some examples: shop 100 plus used bikes or new bikes or whatever you've got, all safety inspected and ready to ride. Next one, on-site financing with 10 plus lenders, even for first-time buyers. I'm trying to loop everybody into that. The people who can buy and maybe the people who think that they can't, but we might be able to get them. Here's another one: trade-in offer in 10 minutes, no obligation. That talks to their speed, that talks to their quickness, their efficiency, right? The next one, fast service scheduling online. Get in, get out, ride more. I think a lot of us are in season right now where it's kind of gangbusters, right? So people are looking to get their ride serviced, and you want to be able to promote to them in their service department that you'll get them in and out, right? Number five, use social proof or testimonials. So show the transformation, give a name, give a result, and give a quote. Okay. Oftentimes we do a pretty decent job, I will admit, at getting a lot of good, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, and whatnot, right? And we're very braggadocious about what our star rating. I got a 4.7, I got a 4.8. Nobody ever gets a 5.0 on Google. Sorry, guys. But you've got a really pretty good average score, right? Well, what are some of those comments that your customers have given you? Are you using those in some of your publications? Let's put those real reviews from Google, from Facebook, or even from surveys on the follow-ups, right? Here's some examples. They gave me 1,200 more than I expected for my trade-in, and I'm 2 hours away, right, from Jason. The next one is easiest financing I've ever done, done while I was at work, right? That's from Samantha. These are real reviews, guys, right? Here's one: the parts team knew exactly what I needed, ordered, and got it in the next day. That's from Raymond. This one here is: I've bought bikes all over. These guys just get it. No BS. That one's from Tony, right? So these are all kind of real reviews from various different power sports partners of ours that we could easily use that one liner in the type of copywriting that we put out there. Okay. Number six in the formula, you got to create urgency or scarcity. So you got to give them a reason to act now. People scroll past good deals if it has no reason for them to act now, because they're always in the mindset of I'll do it later, or I'll get to it later, right? Or I've got another month to do this, right? So always set their limits, either quantity or time, or even a competitive framing around both, right? So here's some examples on that urgency or scarcity that you need to have in your copywriting formula. The first one is only 3 left at this price, and they are already test ridden, right? The second one, spring service specials end on Saturday. That's kind of a tongue twister. Don't risk missing the riding weather. Spring service specials ends Saturday. Don't risk missing riding weather. The next one, every bike sold this weekend gets $500 in accessories only until Sunday, right? Most of you guys are closed on Sunday. The next one is we only buy 7 bikes per week. Don't miss your window to cash out, right? So there's a couple different ones, from some gotta go units to service to accessory bonus for a bike sold to buying bikes, right? It's whatever you're advertising, whoever it's speaking to, you got to create that urgency in any way that you can. Number 7 in the formula is to create a strong call to action, a CTA. And with this, it's pretty easy. I think a lot of you guys understand this, the CTA, right? We have to be clear, direct, and show them what the next steps are. Don't assume that they know what you want them to do by looking at this ad or reading this copy. You have to match that CTA to the platform or ad type. So here's a message, right? Hey, tap message us to get your price on your trade, right? That's sending you a message. Or click here to pre-qualify in 90 seconds, no credit impacted. The next one would be DM us oil, quote unquote, to claim your $49 service special, right? Or LOF, or, change, or something like that, right? You're trying to DM them an engagement or get them to engage you in a DM. And then here's one more: call now. Say weekend deal for $100 off your down payment. That's if you're trying to get the phone to ring more for your service department or for your sales department, right? So those are the 7 pieces of the formula. Now, when we go into this next section here, we're going to be talking about where to use this copy in the formula. So let's go with section 3. Okay. And the first subject that we'll look at is Google Ads. So with Google Ads, if you are doing your own or you've got an agency helping you, you want to help write those headlines like mini pain/solution statements. An example of that would be used Harleys under 10,000, local delivery, fast trade appraisals, right? Now, depending on how big your character limit is on some of these ads, whether it's a headline or a description, you want to try to do a mini pain/solution statement. Okay. You want to use call out extensions to even layer that benefit. Low miles, same day financing, buyback offers, right? So there are other ways, other pieces, we call them snippets or assets that you can add to the ad to help, supplement all these little mini pain solution statements. For Facebook or Meta, you want to try to lead with emotion or shock value in the first line. So pair it with an authentic image, obviously, and don't use overproduced stock visuals unless it's some kind of co-op, right? But always have a CTA and a click to message button enabled because most of the Meta ads are going to be inventory driven and driving to your website. So from Facebook to your website, you got to get them there. We've got one for email or SMS messages, right? Text messages. Your subject lines on your emails, they should use scarcity or curiosity. Here's an example. Only 5 left. Our best-selling ATV is back. Right. Well, for me, I would be like, whoa, what is that? Right. What is your best-selling ATV? Would want me to introduce the click, right? Oh my gosh, I'm reading this and I happen to be in funnel. This is a clickable subject line for me. You want to also use bullet points or short paragraphs in one big message, one CTA. Here's some examples. Got a trade? We're paying top dollar this week only. Click to get a quote. The other one is write it this weekend, pay for it next month. See our spring financing offers, right? So big, bold letters, underline some of those words like write it or next month, whatever it is, right? You want to try to, fit those into a CTA and play with those, but in one big, bold one. Okay. For websites and inventory descriptions, here's some ideas. Write the descriptions like a personal recommendation, not a brochure. How many times do you look at an inventory listing on your own website or somebody else's? And if it's bike for bike, they say the same exact stuff, right? So you want to write those as much as you can from a personal point of view. I know it takes time. I know you got to get a little creative, but with stuff like AI now and ChatGPT, you can probably write a few one-liners, copy and paste it pretty easily. So you got that personalization. The next one is add urgency. So an example of adding some urgency to a website inventory description would be just serviced, ready for weekend trip, right? You want to include some financing, some warranty, some delivery and trade-in benefits in this listing summary as well. And obviously you want to highlight rider use cases, like something that someone said, quote, perfect for the first time rider or weekend cruiser, right? Because people may not know these products like you do. And so that one liner may push them over the edge while they're looking at it. Last but not least, we've got print mailers and flyers. So with print mailers and flyers, huge headline, one killer photo. Sometimes I've seen these mailers, those postcards, or even an open letter, and they're just a lot of stuff all over the place at all times, right? You want to use the biggest headline that you can with one killer photo to grab that attention before they throw it in the trash, because that's where most mailers go. You can focus on a seasonal theme like, tax returns, spring service. That's kind of season that we're in right now. Year-end trade bonus, all that stuff, right? And then try to drive that to a unique offer code or landing page so that you can track those mailer to website results. I always preferred using a QR code. Everybody's kind of already used to, what they do and how to use them. Open up your camera on your phone. Doesn't matter what phone you got. Hover over it. There's your website, right? Boom. If you got to click on it, that's a QR code just for that mailing campaign. You can know exactly how you penetrated on that. Section 4, retail examples for real riders. So let's talk about new vehicles. Okay. So here's a couple of headlines that we just came up with for the new stuff, right? And some of this is map compliant, some of it is not. You'll just have to know where the gray lines are for your particular OEM, but let's kind of try a couple of them, right? In this thinking, right? So here's one. Ride a brand new 2025 with 0 down. Yes, even if you're trading in something upside down. Okay, we got a little bit of rhyming with that, right? The next one, the latest models are here, and we've got one waiting with your name on it, right? This is a retail example for a new vehicle. Next one, don't wait until riding season's halfway over. Get the new bike today and own the road. The next one, we'll give you $500 in free accessories when you buy a new bike before insert date, the end of March, the end of April, before May 31st, whatever, right? So you want to try to include those dates in there so that there is some expiration. And as far as used vehicles go, these are pretty easy because I think most riders know what the game is with used bikes. Okay. And I would tend to be more like, hey, we're the dealership and we have certain morals, certain standards, certain things that we need to do to this bike before ever releasing it. Okay. And with used bikes, you can use some copy like, hey, why gamble with Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace? Our pre owned bikes are serviced, certified, and come with financing. Or how about this one? We'll sell more used bikes because we price them to move. See today's fresh arrivals. Or this one, looking for a budget-friendly cruiser or sport bike? These 5 just dropped under 7,000. Okay, we're not telling you what they are, other than they're a cruiser or sport bike. There's only 5 of them, and they drop below a certain price point. And it could be 7,000, it could be 9,000, it could be 20,000. You know, it could be whatever price range is suitable for that particular product. But you're trying to not name them because you want to drive the click and curiosity. All right, y'all. So this was just a little quick episode that I wanted to put together based on Bill Glazer's proven copywriting formula. If you guys like to listen to podcasts, if you guys like to listen to audiobooks, there's a ton of stuff that he writes. He's kind of my guy right now that I'm really experimenting with on a lot of my different formulas or how I do my marketing or some of my call to action. So I wanted to share that with you on some stuff that I learned, trying to pay it forward. Hopefully you got something out of that. So let me know in the comments what you think and if you do this currently at your store. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Dealers, discover the power of MotoHunt's Inventory Ads program, designed to drive leads and sales for your motorcycle dealership. Our dynamic ads automatically showcase your current in-stock inventory on Google and Meta products catalogs, reaching buyers exactly when they're searching. With targeted ad campaigns, seasonal adjustments, and real-time performance tracking, you can optimize your ad spend and see impressive results. These are not your traditional SEM campaigns. These are product ads that show customers real-time motorcycles and power sports for sale and direct them directly to your landing page. Sign up today and get a marketing edge over your competition with MotoHunt.